what I found in my experience that empowerment workshops and motivation speeches bring about awareness of all the wide range available resources, the classes, the training, the counseling and treatment agencies, the government programs, state, county, and citywide, all the job links and contacts out there on the internet, all the networking events that create new opportunities and relationships, and definitely all different sorts of literature that's educational and informative to bring a better insight on what road to take and what goals to set. My examples would be like a student getting informed of grants and scholarships that may apply to them, or even extracurriculum activities that may be of interest. Well, we also are available to provide help for those who struggle with addiction by linking them with various programs that are set up for intervention and health rehabilitation. We also work hard towards bridging the gap for ex-offenders who have trouble entering the workforce because of background challenges. We know the importance of having a job to be able to provide for yourself and your family. So, like I said in the beginning, it is of a special interest to us to provide awareness of the many of employers or businesses who are less discriminate towards the men and women who has this challenge. So we act more of as a reference point for those who may be in this situation. Because, like I said, it is our honest opinion that this prevents more people from becoming homeless, helpless, and even, a little bit, crazy or disturbed or engaging in criminal activity because of the lack of knowledge or resources that they may or may not have access to. So in conclusion, we understand and acknowledge the complexity of all the social barriers that have been put in place, all the racial barriers, and even religious barriers. But we're just here to help find solutions on common grounds to common problems. And as a result, together we hope to bridge gaps, strengthen ties, establish relationships, and again, create opportunity for those who want to better themselves or better the conditions of their community.
Did you ever, in your wildest imagination, ever think that you would come from there to here?
No, sir, I didn't.
Did you ever think about giving up?
Yes, I did. Many occasions I thought about giving up. I can remember one time vividly when I had my daughter. I was having a very hard time getting into the workforce. Even though I was telling the employers or the hiring managers, hey, I just had a baby, it's rough for me out here. What can you do for me? And was getting a lot of no's at that time. But I would just like to say this: God is able. In my personal opinion, having a humble spirit, positive attitude, and a respectable manner opens doors for a lot of people. Although sometimes it gets overlooked. But it does build trust between strangers. Like I said, I know perspective plays a major role on how we view life. But I think if a man can look beyond color of skin, texture of hair, and view a person for their morale, character, principles, beliefs, strengths, weaknesses, talents, and gifts, integrity and discipline, then you have made the proper assessment of that person, and then you can decide what type of relationship or what kind of job that person deserves to have. And we do understand that we all come from different ethnic backgrounds, and that causes a certain of uncertainty and curiosity. But I firmly believe that America has came a long way. And despite its own background challenges and its controversy, our flag still stands, and united we stand. And we owe it to ourselves and the children of this nation to stand up and be a part of the healing process. Therefore, this is why me and my wife started Harris Healing Outreach, and we're just a small branch of the men's ministry at 34th Street Church of God.
Well said. I've noticed that you have a lot of personal pride, and you realize what time it is. Before we went on air, you were talking about the importance of dotting your I's and crossing your T's,
yes.
and making sure that you project a positive image
right.
in an interview. How important, I'll just ask you a sort of zinger question. How important is it, or have you ever used a thank you note, a thank you card, not a thank you email, well, you can do that too, but just to send, what the importance of sending a thank you card. Have you ever done that? And
yes, sir, I have.
And why is that important? After an interview, after you first met the employer, let's say Dress Like You Are, or Canada, mm-hmm. Job Canada, Dress Like You Are, mm-hmm. or Dress Like You Said the women would be dressed. Why is that so important to follow up with a thank you card that you mail for 49 cents?
Right. Yes, sir. Well, it goes back to what you said earlier, personal pride. I believe the word is courteous. Just being plain out courteous, letting that employer know that I thank you for that opportunity. I do realize that there were 100 other people that you could have had in your
But
office.
you only gave me 90 seconds. But you're
Right.
thanking them for the 90 seconds.
Right, just thanking them for that 90 seconds, because it's very important that we let them know that, hey, we are very serious about getting into the workforce. And if you're going to give me the opportunity and the time to come in your office, go over my job skills, go over my qualifications, and actually consider me for this position, then I feel compelled to go out of my way and send you a thank you card for that opportunity.
Wow. The importance of work ethic. You seem to have a strong work ethic. Here you are working an 8 to 5 job with Hillsborough County government, and then you and your wife are still doing outreach work. That's a pretty. And then you're trying to raise your daughter.
Right.
That's a lot of things on your plate. So obviously you have a strong work ethic.
Yes,
And
I do.
I guess I'll ask you another rhetorical question. Why is it so important for you to give back to those who need a hand up, not a handout, but a hand up?
Because, sir, I honestly believe this is not just Tampa, Florida, Hillsborough County, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Florida issue. This is a United States of America issue. Out of the 50 states we have here in this country, I can almost guarantee that there is someone in each state, each county, each city dealing with a background challenge, and it's making them unaware that it's that much harder to get into the workforce. And I believe that bringing the awareness to the community is where it starts. And me and my wife have been there. We've been in situations where we were in dire need of things. We've been in situations where we needed to go to other people for help. And I think it's just for conscience sake that we said, hey, now that we're doing better, now that we're getting along and we're getting as far as we need to go, I think it's important that we let some of these other men and women know too that, hey, there is hope in your situation. I'm reminded of the penny. The penny is 1 cent. If you think about how the penny is viewed in America today, it's very undervalued. Most people don't even deal with pennies. They deal with quarters and nickels, dimes, dollar bills, credit cards, wireless transactions. But we need to be very careful how we view the penny, because we need to be reminded that even a penny has a purpose and a plan in the world today. And that's the message that we try to get across to ex-offenders, that no matter how low you get in life, no matter how bad your situation may have been, that there is still a purpose and a plan for you. And if you can just overcome your negative thinking, you will find out that there is a wide variety, there's a long list of people willing to help. It just takes you being open-minded and researching and getting out there and networking.
Well, pardon the pun, but I guess you've given me your 2 cents worth, because that's real important. Where do you see yourself? Where do you see Harris Outreach in maybe 2 or 3 years from now? What's on the horizon? What are some of your ambitions, things that you'd like to do? How far would you like to take this?
Well, I'd like to take it as far as possible, sir. Of course, I
Does that
can't.
mean being on Oprah's show to spread the word?
Even on Oprah,
If that's what it takes?
If
Or
that's what
Dr.
it takes.
Phil, or
yes, any situation that shed lights on this, because like I say, once again, this is just not a Tampa, Florida issue. This is a United States issue. This is the whole country dealing with this. And if Oprah or the president or your city councilman or your local mayor, if any of them had the opportunity to hear out the situation of how there are all these services coming together to help ex-offenders, I think they would want to play a role in it too, because like I say, it affects us all. If you see a homeless guy at the store begging for change, that's just not that particular area problem. That's going on all over the city, and part of that is happening is because people with background challenges cannot find work.
right. Let's wrap it up by talking about August 26th. There's an election.
Right.
There's an election that some people can vote in that are 18 plus. 18 plus, and there's the same election that some other people who cannot, who aren't able to vote.
Right.
And then there's a general election the first Tuesday in November of this year, the gubernatorial so-called midterm election.
Okay.
How? What's your feeling on? If I did something 7 years ago, and there's been no law-abiding, it's easy for you to say, violation since then, should that person be given the right to vote?
This is why I am very excited about the 7th annual Reentry Resource Expo.
Even though it's gone by, but
Even though it's going by, it's an annual event, and what this does is provide information on topics which you just brought up.
so let me interrupt you to say that if there were 200 people there, 200 people were 5 hours, if they stayed that long, more equipped with information to take away. We talk about takeaways. They have stuff in their hands to
Yes.
find out how to do this and how to do that.
Yes, and it's a beautiful thing because, like I said in the beginning, you have the NAACP there, the political chair, Yvette Lewis, talking about the rights for felons and how they have something called, I think it's the Take 5 approach, where a convicted felon can actually pledge for 5 people to vote for them. And I think that's a very powerful thing going on in the community that a lot of ex-offenders are not aware of.
Does that, you mean before the clemency board, or how does that, do you know how it works?
Well, to be honest, sir, to go in detail, I would love to, elaborate more.
Sure.
But Miss Yvette Lewis is somebody who I just came in contact with, and me myself, like I say, I was unaware of this, and
So contact her. Obviously, put in Google
Definitely.
Hillsborough County Tampa branch of the NAACP,
Right.
and find out if you or someone you know in our audience has some legal background issues and wants to vote.
yes,
They need to get about the business, or either call the Supervisor of Elections Office at area code 813-272-5850, 272-5850, or any Supervisor of Elections because this is about a 16, maybe 18 county listening area, Dorian,
Yes.
for this program. So any Supervisor of Elections, whether in Sumter County or Manatee County or Zolfo Springs,
Right.
which is Hardee County, just call the Supervisor of Elections and say, hey, how can I get lined up and signed up to vote?
right.
And then if you have the card, if you have the darn card in your pocket, please go out and vote.
Right.
That's important.
It is very
So
important.
for somebody, I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for, but vote.
But vote, because it is very important, and you do have to realize that your vote does count. The last thing I like to touch on is the fact that a lot of people do not know of all these government programs that's set up in place. Part of
Local, state, national.
all
the
local,
above?
state, and that, all of the above. Part of my, I would say, my recent success is for me coming in contact with Miss Carla Jackson, who's the city liaison for the city of Tampa with the Department of Neighborhood Engagement. She was so informative that it compelled me to go find out more information about people in this situation. And she, like I said, she brought all this attention to me about these different government programs that I had no idea existed for ex-offenders. So once again, I like to send that symbol for hope out there, that to any young man and any young woman in this situation, whether you have a background challenge, a mental health challenge, or you just have a challenge, period, you need to know that there are a wide range of people willing to help. They're the NAACP, the American Civil Liberties Union, the Public Defender's Office is willing to give out information, the City of Tampa, Hillsborough County, even the state. And there's also a long list of nonprofits set up right there in your city or in your county that are going to be willing to help too. So I would like to express to the people in this situation that do not give up hope. Always remember God is able, and it is very, very important for you to know that you have a second chance to reclaim your destiny. And that's why I'm here on the station today, and that's why I'm here on this interview today, because I want to let you know that I am a living witness from being homeless, jobless, and hopeless to now having a government job, being a married man, raising a beautiful daughter, and also giving back to the community through a business that we started by going out doing motivational speaking and group counseling and letting people know the available resources around them. So, like I say, I am very motivated behind this. I am very motivated behind the whole Resource Expo, and I would like to see more of this stuff brought to the community, because I think together, we can make a difference.